I have got some ghost stories for you.
I feel something crawl into the bed with me and it starts to spoon me.
There was a time where I would be in bed falling asleep and I would hear my name being called. Different voices call my name.
Poof, the person disappeared right in front of our eyes.
And we were both like, did you see that?
There was this figure of a woman. Her skin was bluish and her hands were clawed and her mouth was wide open.
So that is my ghost story.
Hi, and welcome to Haunted AF, the podcast of real ghost stories told by real people. We are your hosts. I'm Julie Fisk.
And I'm Rebecca Black.
Coming up, we've got some UFO stories, plenty of haunted houses this week,
Woo-hoo.
and it's time to talk about Dogman, damn it.
I am very excited to talk about some Dogman.
Well, apparently he's been showing up in Idaho a lot lately. So
weird place, must like potatoes.
That's coming up.
But first, we got to remind you, follow us on all of our social media pages because we've got lots of good stuff over there. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're everywhere, literally. Let us know what you think about Rita's court cam video because I'm not even lying right now. We have chuckled over this video for over a week.
Who is that in the pew? Or I don't know what that's called, the row there. What the
It is amazing, and we still don't know what was going on
it's
court cam.
It's pure greatness.
Yeah.
Also, make a pit stop at hauntedaf.com. Look at the online store. There's so much cute merch over there. And of course, the Haunted AF mugs are on sale right now, just $8.
Oh, yeah.
$8.
And look, we're wearing our a brand new oversized sweatshirts, which are actually, it's kind of hot.
It's very hot. We have 1,000 lights on us.
Yes, we do. And my legs are like sweaty and it's just, it's not nice right now. Also, we have to say thanks to our newest patrons. We have Hannah Summers, Melissa Rich, Chris Aguilar, Lazy Garden Lady, and Rebecca Moore. Yes. So if you binge everything and you need more, we've got 4 years of content on our Patreon page. It's only $5 a month. So find that at patreon.com/hauntedaf. You want to just jump right into it?
Yeah, sure. Let's do this thing. All right. Our first story comes from Emily. Hello, lovely ladies.
Hello, Emily.
I just recently got into your podcast and wanted to send some stories from my very first home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The house was built in 1895 and sat vacant for 2 years before we moved in 2016. Right away, strange things started happening. For example, my car keys moved from a bowl by the front door to the inside of the freezer. Okay, hold on though. Is that just you? Because I cannot tell you how many times I found the remote control in the refrigerator.
Really?
Yes.
I found our bag of granola like in the back of the where the Tupperware is the other day.
Yeah.
And it's like at first I saw it and I was like ghost. And I'm like, no, that's my daughter. I know exactly what she did.
Hiding it.
I know.
She doesn't want any of you bitches eating her stuff.
Which is true because we all eat it. It's really, really good.
I'm just saying that might be an option rather than a ghost.
Yeah.
Another time I even found her car keys in my empty washing machine in the cellar. Okay, that's a little bit more extreme, I would think.
Yeah, because nobody's hanging out in the cellar for kicks.
Not at all. The lights would also turn on and off by themselves or at my boyfriend's request. The ghost actually grew quite fond of him. I would also hear people walking around upstairs in the attic when I was sleeping. All of that became pretty normal after a while, and we eventually started yelling at the ghost to knock it off. The scariest thing happened, though, when we were moving out of the house. I was boxing up things in the cellar and stopped to get lunch with my friend. When I came back, a desk down there was flipped upside down. I thought maybe the cats had knocked it over, but I turned around and found the desk drawer sitting right side up on the other side of the room. Maybe our ghost just didn't want us to leave. Love the podcast and hope you enjoyed my story. Maybe next time I'll write in about the ghost I heard singing in the shower.
Yes, lead with that one next
Emily.
time. Yeah, definitely. This next one comes from Nicole. When I was 4 years old, I was sleeping between my parents in their bed. I remember looking out their window and seeing a large owl, which filled the whole window frame. Eek. That's what she's got written there. But what scared me most was this thing's eyes were glowing orange. I could feel it watching me. I was so scared. I tried to hold my breath so I wouldn't move. I must have finally fallen asleep, but I think about it often now while working on my graduate degree in psychology. Also, in 2009, a movie called The Fourth Kind came out with Mila Jovovich. Basically, she's a psychiatrist whose patients have night terrors, and the only thing they remember is a freaking owl.
Stop.
Yeah. What they actually experienced in the movie, though, was alien abduction.
Oh,
Now, I don't think I was abducted, but what did I actually see in the window that night? So, okay, here's the thing. I have heard about this before this email from Nicole.
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard anything like this.
So I think, and if you look it up on like Reddit, but it's this idea that when you have an alien experience, they replace that memory with something extremely natural.
That is so creepy.
Right. Like seeing an owl. If you guys have heard anything about the owl at night, and especially little kids seeing it, let us know. hauntedafpodcast@gmail.com.
Also, quick question, just a theory here. What if that's like what reoccurring dreams are? What if that's just your mind trying to go to that weird alien abduction and they've replaced it with water slides?
Oh my God. That's pretty
That's
great.
plausible, right?
But, so when you have recurring dreams, are they exactly the same, or are there elements of it that are changed?
As far as I can recall, they're pretty much exactly the same.
Because mine are always different. Like the only real reoccurring dream that I have
Rural juror.
yeah, all over again, is that my teeth are falling out. That's the one that I have all the time, and it's always different variations, but all my teeth are falling out.
So do you know what the meaning of the teeth falling out dream is? I've also had these dreams.
No, what is it?
It is that you are worried about money and that you're
Is
losing
it?
money. Yeah.
Well, I'm always worried about money.
See? So am I.
Yeah. My mom used to always have dreams. I've had this one too, that she was walking around in public with her pants off. Have you ever had that one?
I've never had a nakedy dream.
Yes,
Ever. And I think it's so weird that I haven't.
Yeah. That and like just sitting on a toilet in the middle of a room full of
I have never had that.
That's so terrible.
I mean, I gave birth to a baby duck once, but that's as far as it goes.
I gave birth to a squirrel. And a different time, I gave birth to a bouncy ball that had a doll inside of it.
A doll inside of it. It's a 2-for-1 deal.
I think I actually had that dream when I was pregnant.
Oh, hilarious.
A true story.
Speaking of aliens.
Wait, that's right. We were speaking of aliens,
Yeah,
weren't we?
we
Okay.
were. We got on a detour there.
Sorry.
So speaking of aliens, we have to share this post that we found on the MUFON Facebook page. The person wrote, wondering if anyone has ever experienced this. Me and my wife and my kid were sitting on a beach in the lake in Dallas, looking up in the night sky. I took a flashlight and I flashed it 3 times into the sky, like an SOS signal, and something flashed back at us 3 times.
Whoa.
It seemed way too far up to be planes or drones. We are still amazed by this. The wild thing is that there were tons of people in the comments who claimed to have experienced the same thing.
Like, so you just like flash your light up into a night sky.
I've never heard this.
I have not heard it either. Like, I'm thinking any of the lakes in Dallas, you're not going to be able to see the stars very well because we're in the city.
Right.
So, okay, guys, have you ever heard of something like this before, or should we all just like go ahead and try this?
I think we should.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
definitely. Do you have any good flashlights, like the really strong ones?
No, I don't think I even own a flashlight.
Can
we use our cell phone?
All right. So this next email comes from Yvonne. I heard you mention Jefferson, Texas recently. So I wanted to tell you about the time I took my 2 teenagers. We were trying to spot alligators because it's my 14-year-old's favorite animal.
Awesome.
On Caddo Lake, and stayed at the historic Con Inn, which is allegedly one of the top 10 most haunted hotels in Texas. Wait. Side note, right before I got this email, I was looking at hotels in Jefferson because you and I are talking about maybe doing something like a little spooky road trip. And I was looking at Jefferson and I looked at the Con Hotel, the historic Con Hotel. So it was so weird to open up this email and see this. But okay, anyhow, Yvonne says, we slept in a room with 2 queen beds and my 17-year-old wanted the bed all to themselves. So I shared a bed with my 14-year-old son. After checking in, we were sitting in the room and planning our evening when we noticed a constant knocking sound. It was more annoying than anything, but we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So we left for dinner and then drove around for a while. There's not much to do in Jefferson on a Monday night. But when we got back, that damn knocking started again.
What?
So my son was a little freaked out at this point, and I told him it was probably a recording they played to live up to the haunted hotel vibe.
Yeah, that's it.
But about a half hour later, though, we heard this long moan. Well, it's that, or
It
is
could
it?
have been their neighbors.
She said we both started laughing and honestly felt a little relieved. A few minutes later, though, we were lying in bed when I heard a mumbling voice directly in my ear. I asked my son, "What?" And he said, "Mom, I didn't say anything." So the next morning, we both woke up really early, around 6 a.m. He was watching videos and I was reading when I heard that same voice in my ear right between us. I asked again what he had said, and yet again he said, "Mom, I didn't say anything." That voice was directly in my ear. I have no idea who it was or what it was saying. And it really freaks me out that it was right between us. I was so glad that we had an early boat ride on Caddo Lake because we got the hell out of there. Props to the staff of the Historic Con Hotel, though. They were so very friendly and the rooms were clean. And no, we did not ask about the knocking sounds or the moan. I just wanted out. Oh, and by the way,
Gotta ask Yvonne.
Yvonne has.
You gotta ask.
What are you going to say? Were people having sex in the room next to us last night?
Do you think that the knocking might have been something different?
Hold up, though. If the knocking started before they go out to dinner,
That's a long sexual tryst.
I know that is
a very long sexual
time.
tryst.
No wonder the moan is long.
Because that poor woman is like, I'm so over this.
Thank God it's over.
Oh, please end.
Oh, by the way, okay, did you see Beetlejuice this weekend?
I did see Beetlejuice.
Okay, we asked for reviews on social media, but I really only trust yours.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm wondering if I'm being too hard on it because everybody I know has loved it thus far.
Yeah,
like
did it?
Yeah, like I have 2 people that have gone to see it and they've loved it, and they're like, I don't care what you say about the reviews, we love it. I did not love it. I didn't hate it either. It was just kind of meh. And that's the best way I know how to describe it. And I think it's mainly like I got hung up on some things that I didn't think were characteristic of Beetlejuice.
Oh, like what?
He goes off, I think 3 different times on these like a musical number.
Well, wasn't
one time would have been funny, but he does it like 3 different times in the movie. And I was like, this is okay. It's a one-trick pony here. Like, we get it.
Wasn't that turned into like a stage production?
It
or
was
something?
actually. Yeah, there is a musical.
So maybe they're trying to kind of tie that in.
Maybe possibly.
I thought Beetlejuice was supposed to be kind of like a dirtbag ghost. You
So
know?
he is absolutely a dirtbag. He still does have some of the same dirtbag qualities. I will say it's slightly different because they need his help this time.
Yeah.
The end is great. But it took a long time to get there. Also, there was they did a Soul Train thing.
Can I just say, we don't need to turn everything into a musical. We just really
don't.
don't. Okay. Thank you.
So I give it a solid meh.
Okay.
Nah, like go because you'll enjoy the nostalgia of it.
If you guys totally disagree with Rebecca's review, let us know.
Yeah.
But also, look,
Call me out.
Since we are releasing weekly episodes, we were thinking this would be a good time to like get your reviews on things. So if you find like a really good spooky show, movie, book, a ghost tour, anything that you're like, ooh, and it's kind of not something that maybe everybody knows about. Like I watched a really scary movie called His House recently. I think it was on Netflix.
I do want to watch that.
I mean, super scary. Go watch the trailer to His House. But if you guys want to help us out with that, hauntedayofpodcast@gmail.com. And you can write out your review, but you could also like record yourself.
We love to hear your voices.
Speaking of reviews, some of our pod friends are hitting some ghost hunts and tours soon, and they're going to be sending us reviews.
Yay.
Our friends at Stu and JB are heading to a tour on the Queen Mary.
I'm excited about that for them.
I love these guys.
I feel like they're already kind of haunted anyway. And
Yeah.
if they're going to go somewhere, the Queen Mary is going to be a good place.
Exactly. So you might remember these guys from episode 8, season 7. They're the ones, they share a townhouse, and there was the ghostly whisper.
Yeah.
Not whisper, whistle. Thank you. So we're going to get their review next week. Also, Christopher Woodside and his daughter Megan sent pictures before heading to a ghost tour at the Fairfield County Infirmary in Lancaster, Ohio. So they sent a picture. They were both wearing their Haunted AF t-shirts.
Thank you.
Love it, guys. Let us know how that one goes. And one other thing, we've been chatting with Ben from Places Forgotten.
Dude, that he has the greatest Instagram account of all time.
Yes, and he's also on TikTok.
Yeah.
Is he on YouTube? He might be on YouTube. He's an urban explorer. We interviewed this guy back in October because he goes around and finds these amazing abandoned places, and he's a great photographer. So he takes pictures. So Ben is in the US taping a show for the Discovery Channel.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, and he reached out to us because he's in Boston, and he thought we were in Boston. I'm like, no,
like, we're very close.
Yeah,
We'll just hop in the car.
Right. Morbid is in Boston, so I'm hoping he got us confused with them. So, but apparently Ben was just filming inside an abandoned school in Japan and got a spooky image of what looks just like a kid walking down the hall.
Amazing.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That looks like a child walking down the hall.
It totally looks like a kid. So here's the thing. The building has been empty since 2011 when a devastating earthquake hit that region and killed over 18,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
2011, over 10 years. Don't make me do the math, but there it looks like a student
Yeah,
there in the
absolutely.
hall. So Ben actually sent us the picture, and then the next damn day, the Daily Mail was posting the story. I was like, holy crap.
Amazing.
So you can read that, see the picture at hauntedaf.com in the companion blog. And we're actually going to interview Ben very soon. So we'll get all the details from him.
Also, heads up for any Haunted AF fans in Idaho, there were apparently some Dogman sightings around Boise over the summer that have people, talking. I mean, jokingly mostly, but someone started posting watch out for Dogman signs all around town. And then people started organizing Dogman hunts, which are just, hangouts.
Oh,
I think, wouldn't that be fun?
It would
Dogman hunt.
I
Doesn't
know.
they growl like you do with Bigfoot?
But I totally saw like the villagers with like the pitchforks and stuff. So no, not that at all then.
I like that though. That's funny. There's actually two types of dogmen, according to the reports. One that looks like a tall dog that walks on its hind legs, while the other is a little bit more like Sasquatch with a snout and claws instead of fingers.
It sounds scary.
It does sound scary. It does. So scared I can't speak. We're going to post the story on our companion blog, but we also found a sighting map at NorthAmericanDogmanProject.com. They post dogman sightings all over the country. And guess what? There's one right here in Dallas.
Of course there is.
It is from 2018, but here's what the report says. I heard the howls start up again. The thumping of its feet and branches were snapping. My instincts kicked in, so I shut off the back porch light and allowed my eyes to get adjusted. There was just enough light to see clearly when all of a sudden I see it stand up. I first saw the ears, tall and sharp like knives, and then I saw its head, followed by its broad shoulders and long arms. It stood there watching me for what seemed like forever until it turned and took a massive dump. No, I'm just kidding. And took massive strides on two legs to walk off.
I'm like, why does this sound kind of hot?
Okay.
Broad shoulders and
Hold
long
on.
arms.
Hold on. I can tell you what I was imagining, but then I went and looked up pictures. I'm not kidding you. It reminds me of Jacob in Twilight.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because I mean, we're all team Jacob, right? Let's be real.
I'm team either one. I don't care.
You don't care?
No,
You're all for
I'm
either?
for all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like that you're inclusive.
Yeah.
I am not. I don't want no vampires up in here.
It's Edward. He's so sexy.
Give me Jacob all day.
Oh, thank
that
you.
hairy beast of a boy.
Yeah. No, those movies were so bad.
They were so bad.
All right. So our final story this week comes from Tony, who also had a great story in the pregame. Tony says, hello, ladies. I found you girls last year and binged the whole catalog in just a few weeks. I love you. Here are a few of my haunted house stories. The house I grew up in and still own to this day was built by my grandfather in the 1950s. Because of this, there have always been creaky floorboards, lots of noises, and the living room consisted of dark, knotty pine paneling.
Oh, that just screams creepy.
It looks like there are eyes watching you all the time. Oh, I hate that. My closet doors were like that when I was a kid. Ugh. So one time I woke up around 4 a.m. on my birthday. The moon was full, so my room was lit up. And in the corner, I saw a shiny silver happy birthday balloon just floating. I didn't think much of it since my dad got up super early for work. I figured it was from him. I turned on my bedside lamp and it was still there, swaying a little in the breeze. I got up and turned on my overhead light, but when I turned back, the balloon was gone. So my grandmother did pass away in that house, and I think it might have come from her. But this last story happened when I was in my 20s. My 1-year-old daughter and I were home on a Friday night. I was in the living room and I heard her chatting away in the bathroom, which was strange since no one was home. I headed down the hall and stopped dead in my tracks when I turned the corner. What I saw scared me like never before. There in the middle of the floor was a towel standing up like someone had laid it out flat, pinched the middle between their fingers and pulled it up straight. It was standing on the tips of all 4 corners, but there's no way it could do that all by itself. My daughter was on the opposite side of the room, so I karate chopped the towel, scooped her up, and ran. For a long time after that, my daughter would hide her face and get scared in certain rooms. I finally got forceful and told whatever it was to go away and leave us alone, and I taught her to do the same when she was old enough. I have a few more stories to send, including a prank pulled on me that we are still laughing about 25 years later. Keep up the work and keep up the good work.
Good work,
And
not
that
just
is
regular
from
work.
Tony. I'm sorry. When I read this email at home and I had that mental image of the towel,
Yeah.
chills all over. I don't know why, just the idea of like simple things like
Right?
that.
I know.
It just, you can just imagine turning the corner and just there it is.
Because it's a soft fabric. It's not supposed to do that. It can't do that unless you have a 13-year-old boy.
That's what I was like.
You know what I mean?
But she has a 4-year-old.
Was
So
it
definitely
was
not.
it hard or soft when you kicked it across the room?
Did it make a distinct crunching
Yeah,
sound?
because if it was crunchy, we have a problem.
And suddenly it's not scary anymore.
It's no, we love to ruin a good scary story.
Yes.
So sorry. All right, you guys, remember, we are collecting your reviews now. So if you find a scary good book, a movie, a show, a ghost hunt, whatever it is, we want to hear all about it. We also want to know if anyone out there has tried flashing lights into the sky to get a response, like the MUFON Facebook post. I don't know why I cannot say MUFON correctly.
With the Mutual UFO Network, right?
Is that what it stands for?
I think so.
Mutual UFO Network. All right. We're definitely going to try that, right?
Yeah, we're going to have to.
I'm in.
That's pretty wild. And since we're getting close to Halloween, we want to see any really good Halloween decorations that you come across or your pet costumes. And we're posting weekly right now. So we really need those scary stories. What are we looking for? The usual, of course, ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, glitches in the matrix, and weird shit. Wait, we also want to hear about your Dogman encounters or the time you heard people having sex in the hotel room next door, but you told your kid it was a ghost so you wouldn't have to explain anything. Send all that good stuff to hauntedafpodcast@gmail.com so we can use it next week on Haunted AF.